Hello, Internet! It is me, Stori, and I am back with RP Weekly. That's right, bitches. I am back. No. You guys are not bitches. You are wonderful, lovely people who thankfully have waited for me to return with RP Weekly. But yes, I have returned to Hogwarts. I mean, RPC. After a much needed break, I have returned to the world of role-playing. Because I like talking to the internet about myself, clearly, here's what I have been doing for the past few months. So besides going to school full-time and work full-time, I have joined up a college roleplay with 2 OCs, and I've actually opened my own roleplay that I have been working on for the past couple months, actually. I also have a mic on a movable stand. This is fun. But it feels good to be back to writing again and being an admin again. Since I've started roleplaying once more, I've even updated a fanfic and began to write some other things, so it's been going pretty good. Can't complain. So, here is how this will go. RP Weekly will generally be the same format that it was before. It's going to be on a different day than a Sunday because what was happening was my whole weekends were taken up with filming and then editing. And if I restrict myself to post-work amount, I won't go as crazy in terms of including as much stuff as I did. So there still will be favorite faces, favorite blogs, the Goodie Bag, but a little bit of a different stuff. I'm going to be doing, hopefully, my plan is to do RP news instead of RP trends because I don't spend all my time in the RPC tags, thankfully. So I don't really pay attention to trends or anything like that. So RP news will kind of be like if anything cool comes up, aka me joining again. But I also will be doing RP advice once more, and I actually have written out a list that's pretty long of topics that I will be discussing, and you'll see how that is actually later on in this video. So I want to keep videos of RP Weekly shorter than what they were, A, because of my personal time, but also knowing the attention span of most RPers, myself included. So that is what has been up, what I've been doing. Yes. So without further ado, WD Academy. This was my first Disney roleplay ever. I absolutely love them, even though I did go inactive in them. I'm sorry, guys. But what the great thing was about this roleplay is not only is it still going, it's been going on for, I actually don't even know how long this RP has been open. But I really do adore the admins and the characters and just the time and effort that they put into their roleplay. The reasoning for me including this into my favorite blogs is that this roleplay gave me the creative space that I needed to heal after some not so great RPC stuff was going on. And while I didn't stick around because my life kind of exploded with activities of not the fun kind, it really is a great role-playing place to call home. Dear Indies, they have been my main supporters of RP Weekly. I always go onto the blog. They're the ones I know I've definitely included them before. I've included plenty of resources from them as well. But they have helped me behind the scenes of gathering some stuff up, and then just chatting with them was awesome, and I really adore them, and you should definitely look at their blog and follow them and go down their smile tag because it's a wonderful gift to the world. Now this one I'm going to pronounce wrong, but I'm going to do my best. Pororo. I definitely didn't say that one right, but they are a theme maker, and they make themes that are minimalistic and just elegant, and I love looking at them, and they're pretty, and they don't hurt my eyes, so that's always a plus for me. Dua Lipa, who, if you don't know, is a singer, and she is Albanian ethnicity. And Courtney Eaton. She is a English, Chinese, and Maori Cook Islander. So this is new. It is my spotlight roleplay. So every video I'm going to include one roleplay that I'm going to showcase spotlight on. There's no real qualifications for it, but I'm going to pick this one specifically because it is run by two of my close friends, and they took me in. They're my first roleplay that I joined since getting back into roleplaying, and so they've been dealing with my old slow asset getting back in the swing of things and figuring out role-playing again. Seacrest University is a plotless original college roleplay that is set in Seacrest Cove, California. So this segment is advice, clearly, based on the title that I just put in the video. So my advice this week is organization for admin. And this is going to be just kind of an overview of tips, if you will, not so much like a consecutive guide of things that you should do, but kind of adapt it to who you are as a person and an admin. So with that, the first tip I have is to figure out what kind of organization you need, what type. Do you prefer handwritten stuff? Do you want typed? Do you want both? Personally, I start with handwritten because it's easier to figure out things for me in my brain and then I type it all up. Do you need everything in one format, or do you need multiple views? For example, I made a spreadsheet of characters with their names and years and face claims, and then I also have the bios, which are in a typed up Word format. So figuring out what works for you. Biggest tool is Google Drive. I use it for nearly everything in my life, whether it's fanfic writing, regular fun writing, RPs, schoolwork, YouTube channel stuff. Everything is on a Google Drive somewhere for me. I hope that's safe to say. But it helps you put all the things that you need in one place, and you can organize it with folders, and it's very easy to get to. And if you have a computer issue, hopefully you never do, Google Drive is there. It is all on there. Plus, if you happen to have a job that lets you have free time on a computer and you have nothing else to do, and by that I mean I'm totally on my work hour and break, you can access stuff on work for that, except when you can't get into Tumblr because you haven't found the right proxy site yet. Keep a list of the Photoshop stuff that you use. I'm talking coloring PSDs, the character PSDs, the themes. Not only is it good because then it gives you a chance to make a thank you page or a gratitude page, where you can be like, yo, this thing was great and I used it, here's who made it, with a link to it. It's also good just in case if you ever lose it or you just can't find it, or you're lazy like me sometimes and don't want to have to go searching your whole computer for it. It's there. This is an example of a thank you page that I did. So as you can see, it is very simple and you don't have to do much with it. You just put the links in. Keep a note of the hex color codes that you use. I learned this one late in the game. It was one of those things where I was like, I should write that down, and then I didn't, and then I forgot it, and then it was a mess. It took me forever to find it, figure out what coloring I needed. So do what I didn't do for many years. Write down the hex color codes. This is that like 6-digit long code that goes with the color, whether you're using Photoshop or whatever programs there are to do Photoshop type things. I don't know. This especially comes in handy when you end up changing the theme for your blog and you need to figure out what color you'd used, because it all resets. Or even if you have to do event graphics and you want to add in that accent color that is the staple accent color for your roleplay. New Xkit. I know I've said it before and I'm going to keep saying it. New Xkit is a great, wonderful extension to add on to your browser. I don't think they do many browsers yet. I really think that they just basically do like Chrome and Firefox and maybe Safari. But definitely switch over to those browsers so you could use New Xkit because it is well worth it, honestly. It has been super helpful to me. It gets rid of like the ads and showcased posts and all that stuff, all the distracting things that you really don't want to see when you're on your main roleplay or even on your regular anything, a personal blog or a personal roleplay blog. It's been super helpful with their extensions that give you timestamps. It gives you, it helps you reblog things easier and be able to edit the reblogs. And then you can also catch some Pokemon on it if you so choose that path in your life. Utilize your drafts. It seems like a simple thing to say, but truly it has been very helpful for me. I do it honestly for RP Weekly. Whenever I find something that I think would be really cool to put in here in the goodie bag, or something I need to find later on, whether it's RP related or even just personal writing stuff, I put it in my drafts and I save it there, and this way I don't have to go searching for it, and it's right where I want it, especially if I'm on mobile, because it's very difficult to use the Tumblr app or even Tumblr on the phone. My final tip is to tag. Tag it all. Tag everything. Do it. Whether you have it on a main blog navigation or not, tags are very, very useful, both for your members and for yourself. An example would be on my character bios. When I had a Harry Potter roleplay, I would tag not only separate tags for the house and then the year, but I would do one that had both. For example, a 5th year Slytherin would have a 5 and then an S, because this way I can go through the bios and read the bios and get a sense of the 5th year Slytherins and what their aesthetic could be. I know it's tedious sometimes, but this is where New X comes in handy, because it has handy dandy extensions that can let you add tags easily, it lets you remove tags easily. Once more, I'm bringing it back. It's full circle here with this advice thing. But tagging is very helpful. Highly recommend doing it. And finally, the goodie bag for this week. There is an asexuality master post / guide. Wasn't really a title for it. There's a favorite fonts. There's some themes, like page themes and blog themes. There's an ultimate character creation guide, which I kind of wish I found weeks ago, but guess what? It was saved in my drafts for me. Thank you, self. And there's also a list of hijabi women underused face claims. So take a look at the goodie bag below, as always, down below. So this was the first episode of season 2, if you will, of RP Weekly. I hope you like this little change of a format. I didn't want to do too much different from RP Weekly because it was a lot of fun originally. But I needed something a little different, a little easier for me to manage as a human being, I think. But as always, thank you for watching. Thank you for being so patient with me and my crazy schedule. I'm going to go find some food because I'm hungry. And if you have any comments, questions, any suggestions, anything that you want me to put in, like something for advice or a recommendation of a face claim, keep in mind I do like to do underused, underrepresented. My name is Stori, and I'll see you next week on RP Weekly.